So with due permission of the resource person, may I start, sir?
Sure.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Nidhi Nalwaya, Associate Professor, Faculty of Commerce, Parul University, welcome you all in the series of webinars at Parul University. The webinars are being conducted with the express objective of bridging the gap between industry and academics and to understand the emerging trends and future implication of various dimensions in businesses. In last few years, the cost of acquiring new customers has increased manifolds. Marketing is becoming more expensive, customers are becoming less trustworthy of brands, and customer acquisition is becoming more and more difficult and challenging. Digital marketing encompasses all marketing efforts that use an electronic device or the internet. This is leverage digital channels such as search engines, social media, etc. to connect with current and prospective customers. Digital marketing has emerged as the most vital strategy for any businesses in the present scenario. With this in view, today's topic of webinar is being organized by Faculty of Commerce on digital marketing for customer acquisition. I take the privilege to introduce our eminent speaker, Mr. Bhanu Gupta, who is a director at High Tech iSolution LLP, Ahmedabad. Mr. Gupta draws upon decades of rich experience in digital marketing, international marketing, and business development at the same time. Mr. Gupta has a unique perspective and valuable insights, particularly in the areas of digital and internet marketing, online advertising and promotion, targeting and retargeting campaigns, business development, international marketing and sales, client relationship management, key account management, corporate building, and events management analytics as well. He has a rich experience in corporates like QX Limited, where Mr. Gupta worked as Vice President, Head of Global Marketing. Previous to that, he also served as the Head of Marketing at LE India and has successfully managed many other prestigious assignments. The ability to identify, formulate, and execute the strategic direction of the businesses with and to work collaboratively with superiors and colleagues from diverse backgrounds, superior communication skills, and managing multiple activities are some of Gupta's outstanding expertise areas. Mr. Gupta holds a master's degree in business economics and finance from Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya, Indore. It is my privilege to welcome another resource person for the session, Mr. Gautam Kalal, who is also joining us as a distinguished guest speaker for the session. He is the CEO of Rocket Science Idea, digital marketing strategist, sales expert, entrepreneur, and a trainer. He is an entrepreneur, digital marketer, blogger, speaker. Much to add on, he has trained more than 5,000 students, plus not less than that, business owners at various places like BNI, Ganpat University, etc. Mr. Gautam is a guiding force and on the advisory board panel of magazine CIA World Magazine by Epic Media Private Limited. He is very active on online platforms and teaches digital marketing and business strategies. He has to have a credit published ebooks, namely email marketing, guide, and another is how to publish an ebook. Here, I extend a warm welcome to both of you from Faculty of Commerce, Parul University. Sir, all the participants, I request, they have joined on the Facebook page of Parul University exclusively for this webinars. And I also request all the participants, those who have joined, if they have any question regarding the session, they can put in the chat box and we will be discussing in the last 15 minutes of the session. So all the participants are really eagerly looking forward to this session. I welcome you, sir, and I'm handing over the session to you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you so much. Thanks to Ajay, thanks to Parul University faculty members and management for giving us this opportunity to talk to you on digital marketing. A very big topic, a vast topic, and it is growing day by day. So, and to all the students of Parul University, I thank once again. We will try to give you a little perspective on digital marketing, which is going to be helpful probably to students to identify which area they want to pursue into digital marketing, what are the elements that are necessary for them to know, get their skills sharpened up. So, because it's difficult to cover everything or go into details of each of the channels and everything, but we'll try to give you a little perspective in next 45-50 minutes. And then we will be happy to take up questions from the faculty, from the students, and whosoever is there attending the webinar. The topic is digital marketing and client acquisition. Let me just share my screen. So is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Pretty good. So digital marketing with client acquisition, as you rightly said, today the world has changed, and the pandemic that has hit all of us in last 1 year, since March, the emphasis and the importance of digital marketing has grown manifold. And people, on one hand, the normal brick and mortar businesses, many of them have kind of closed down. They had to suffer because of the pandemic. But on the other hand, many companies kind of started looking at, and some even adopted, who were at the early stage of realizing that that's the way to go, have adopted digital marketing as their next area of marketing. And it has seen a huge surge. I mean, I was reading an article yesterday, and Google's own ad revenues and Facebook's ad revenues have grown by a huge percentage in just this 2020-21 year compared to what it would have been in the earlier years, because a lot of people have gone digital. A lot of new venture that has given a space to a lot of new ideas, new ventures from home itself getting started. And a lot of people have realized that it's easy. I mean, to go digital, it's not that difficult. And they have seen that they can do much better when it's on digital platform, and a lot of cost savings are there. So it has actually reshaped the way we buy things, reshaped the way we sell things. And I would still say that it will take its own little more time, though what looks into the urban areas is not actually the reach when it comes to global, when it comes to India across the regions. So it has grown from where it was for sure, but I feel it needs a lot more penetration when we can actually say that India has gone digital, or digital marketing is shaping the face of our Indian economy. So we'll talk about client acquisition. I'll straightway jump to the topic, and we'll be covering what exactly client acquisition should be, what are the ways you can talk about client acquisition, what are the channels of digital marketing, and some successful case studies, some 2-3 cases we would like to present to you, and then we'll take up the questions. Client acquisition. Everybody wants a new client into the business, and every business is looking forward to have more and more clients to increase their revenue, because the profits are shrinking at times. And yeah, so it's very important to understand, before we talk about digital marketing, it's very important to understand what is the journey of a client acquisition looks like. What is the process that one should keep in mind when you're talking about client acquisition? Because based on our experiences, based on the interactions that we have with industry people, many times there's a mismatch, and many times we mix a couple of things. So it's important to understand the journey or the steps one should keep in mind when he's planning his marketing campaign or a digital marketing campaign towards client acquisition. First is understand your product, service, and competition. When I say understand your product, it means you should know what your product is doing. Is your product to solve a problem of somebody? Is your product is a niche product? Is your product a luxury product? Is your product a regular use product, an FMCG product? So it's very important to understand and categorize what products are you planning to sell. It's very important to understand the service offerings that you have and clearly define them. What services you're offering. For example, you may be into graphic design services, which is purely a service, right? So you should know when you say graphic design, what areas of graphic design are you into? You cannot always say that we are a graphic design company, but you have to further go down to understand your product's offering when it comes to graphic design. Are you more good into logo designing? Are you more good into catalog designing? Are you more into video editing and video production? So as a graphic company, what exactly is your niche? What exactly is your product offering? Same with any product we can talk about. And then understand your competition. Where are you? I mean, who are the other players? Who are the key players? How much is the competition in the space? And what is probably their strategy? And we'll talk about that later in this presentation. So it's very important to understand what your product and service and competition is. Know your audience and build client persona. Once you've identified your product, service, and competition, it's very important to kind of understand whom are you selling this to. Is your product meant for a particular kind of an audience? For example, if we talk about BMW will not have the same audience that Maruti would be catering to. BMW would not have the same kind of audience which probably Kia or Centro would be catering to. So BMW has to identify what is my product and where I am looking to position it. So BMW will not go all out just to be everywhere because they know that's not where my client is. Same way, if you're into a product which is more towards youngsters, you have to understand. So identify your audience, what audience you intend to cater to, what audience your product service is intending to serve, and build a client persona around that. That is, what are the prospects? What are the kind of people you want to be approached? What are the kind of people you would like to reach out? What is their demographics? We'll talk more on client persona as we go ahead further into the paid marketing section. But yeah, you need to understand, you just cannot, because everybody is on digital marketing and every platform is open for you to market. You just cannot be there on every place. I mean, if that's the way you start, I mean, you won't get the desired results, and that leads to more frustration in your marketing strategy and the team rather than getting success out of that. So it's very important to understand your audience, where is the audience, and what is the client that you wish to cater to. Identify your customer channels. Now, once you've identified your audience, once you identify your client persona, these are the kind of people which I'm intending to target. Where are they available? What do they do? What are the sites? What are the places they might be available? For example, you're looking for, you're into manufacturing, you intend to start selling t-shirts and you want to use digital marketing as your channel to sell these t-shirts out. And you start marketing on LinkedIn. Now that won't suffice your purpose because LinkedIn is a very niche B2B community. You won't find students there. So your t-shirts are what kind of t-shirts you're selling? Again, that goes again to your product. Are those t-shirts aimed at younger generation? Are the t-shirts having you're doing customized t-shirts with logos, with slogans which are more intended for the younger generation? So where is your audience? If you're catering to kids product, obviously kids are not going to buy it themselves. So where are the parents? Where are the mothers? For those kind of products, who would make the buying decision? Will it be the father or the mother? And if it's mother, where do you think the women would mostly be when it comes to digital platforms? Right? So that's very important for you to understand, for all of us to understand when we're talking about client acquisition funnel. Plan your marketing strategy. What is the strategy with which you want to go? You want to first inform them. You want to acquire them. You want to be your product with the product. You want to first update them, give them knowledge, or you straightway just simply want them to buy it. So that strategy has to be pretty clear. That what is the marketing strategy you have, and along with that, what is the budget that you have in your pocket? What is the marketing mix? Because that's very important. You want to do client acquisition, but every digital platform has its own unique requirement and unique segmentation of audience that can be reached, and they have their own budgets as well to be put when you talk about paid marketing and you want to grow inorganically immediately. So when I say marketing strategy, is you want to grow organically, you want to grow inorganically. What is the time that you have in with you when you would like to achieve your certain goals? That's very important, because that goal setting is very important. If you want to achieve a certain amount of sales within 6 months time and you're starting from zero, that means you have to work pretty hard to achieve that goal. And your marketing strategy would be very different than if you are fine, you're starting slowly, you already have a set business, but there's a new business that you want to, new product that you want to launch, and you want to test it, and then you just want to be aggressive in the marketing. So the strategy for that would be very different, and you might decide that, okay, let me first see how the organically it's growing. If it's not growing organically the way I've decided or thought of, then probably I'll look at the inorganic ways of taking it forward. So your marketing strategy has to be very clear. What do you want to achieve? What are the time frame in which you want to achieve? What are the goals you want to achieve? And along with that, what's the budget you would like to set aside for your digital marketing activities? Track your marketing campaigns, prospects, client behavior. We start with marketing, we do marketing, but we forget many times to have a very proper tracking in place. Very proper tracking in place to understand the client behavior or your prospects behavior. What are they? So when we'll talk again more in details. So it is very, for a successful campaign, you've decided what you want to do. You started the campaign, but it's very important to track, and along with tracking, continuously optimize. You have to understand your client behavior. What is he doing? What are the other areas? You can have pixel tracking where you can track that, okay, he came to my website. After that, where did he go? What are the pages on my website he's coming? And then going forward, optimize them based on your client's behavior, based on your marketing campaign's results. You should be always optimizing your campaign, testing your campaign. A digital marketing, remember, the shelf life of a digital marketing campaign is very short. And the time that you have to kind of attract your customer is now in seconds. It's not even in minutes. So optimization of campaign, what might be working 30 days back may not be working today. So your campaigns would show declining results, and you have to be ready to optimize it again. What changed? What further can be done? And you should be continuously testing the platform as well as your strategy. You cannot, in digital marketing, you cannot have a strategy and you can continue with that for a year and then realize that, okay, I've spent all my money, but probably I did not get the desired result. You have to be testing again and again, and probably on a monthly or quarterly basis, you should be looking at your results and then deciding what should be my next strategy for the next quarter. Customer feedback and support, a very key, important area to focus upon. So it's a 80-20 theory that applies, that 80% of your business comes from 20% of your satisfied clients and customers, and that applies everywhere. And many a time people sell on digital marketing using digital marketing platform, but they forget to take care of customer feedbacks, and they forget to talk about the customer support in place. That's where they miss out, because digital marketing, as I said, is a viral strategy. I mean, a bad customer puts a comment and you are not able to even respond to that comment. And if it's genuinely unhappy customer and you're not able to satisfy him or even reach out to him, talk to him, understand his problem, that one customer can immediately viral his own feedback, a negative feedback, and you'll immediately see a lot of people declining or abandoning their purchases on the website, because people, that's how the marketing has changed, shift. We all look at clients' feedback. We all look at how many people have reviewed this product. What is the kind of review they have? So you have to take care, and just putting reviews by the customer is not where things end. I mean, even if it's a positive feedback, it's good to acknowledge that positive feedback. If it's a negative feedback, it's important to acknowledge that negative feedback and take desired measures to ensure that client remains with you. Many companies give immediate refund Why do they do that? Just want to ensure that fine, no question asked. That's a great way of marketing. Even some of the brick and mortar stores in America, you buy it from there, use it, and if you're not happy, no question asked, you can return it in 30 days. The downside for that for sure, but for them, that customer feedback and happy customer and a delighted customer is of utmost importance. So that's the journey we should keep in mind, or the steps we should take when we are intending to have a client acquisition using digital marketing. Then we talk about what. So once you've done those exercises, once you're very clear what are the areas you want to get into, then comes what is a right digital marketing mix and what are the channels you should be looking at. And for all those students who are listening to this webinar, all these channels itself are huge areas, and there are experts working on each of these areas. So if you're looking at a digital marketing career, as was one of the pointers given to me, that what are the areas to excel, what are the skills required, or how you can be an excellent digital marketer for your company or your employer. You can be a digital marketer you can be an expert in any of these areas, and you can be serving in a company or catering or starting your own digital marketing agency if you want, because all of them have their own huge independent expertise required. All of them require a huge expertise, and all of them are today as good as an independent career profile. So some of the channels we're talking about is search engine optimization. You have your website. How do you know? And there are thousands and thousands of websites getting up launched every day. How do you and if your audience is one that comes through search engines, they'll go on, and that's just a common thing. Most of us just Google it. For everything and anything, we Google, right? So if you go to the Google results today, there are 10 results, and out of that, probably 5 and 6 are of organic companies, and then there are 2-3 paid results, advertisers, and all that stuff. Look at the cutthroat competition that you have in place. How many of us actually go down to 4th or 5th or 6th page to find a supplier or the product that we are looking at? Okay, so the competition is very high, and the search engine algorithms of Google or any other search engine, Yahoo or any other search engine, changes very frequently. They keep changing it because they want the most authentic website to be getting listed for the users. For them, the user delight is equally important. For them, the user delight means if somebody is clicking on any of those results, it has to be authentic, right kind of a site based on the keywords one is searching for. So gone are the days when digital marketing or SEO was all about keyword stuffing and everything. You have to be very authentic. You have to be so your content, your website has to be very should connect to the target audience. It should have a great UI and UX. People should feel comfortable browsing it. People will give you only a couple of seconds on your website. So search engine optimization as a channel is all about ensuring all your marketing activities are going organically, whether it's your through your website, through your social media activities. So search engine optimization means telling Google and all other search platforms about your website, optimizing that. Your HTML pages have to be perfect. They have to be in the right coded environment. The taggings have to be there. So you can choose. So if you want to grow organically and you don't want to spend a lot at this point of time, probably the right way to look at acquisition would be search engine optimization of your website, which is very important. Search engine marketing. So many a times when we look at Google, you see a lot of ads, some text ads, some video ads. And so as I said, if your strategy is to do something in a very short period of time, you don't have time to grow organically and you want to grow inorganically, and you feel search engines are my best bet. Most of the audience would be coming through search engines, and your analytics also shows that your competitors also there. Then you can go with the search engine marketing, which is you can go ahead with pay-per-click ads of Google. You can go with banner ads on Google. and similar other platforms. You can go with the video sponsored ads. So all these ads are paid campaigns. They will charge you for every click, and that's how it works. Social media marketing, a growing area. Everybody's talking about social media. So you can go for social media channels. But again, as I said, every channel of social media is not for every business. So you should be very clear which social media platform you would like to look at, and how would you like to go forward in that. Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest. There are many, and there are many coming up again and again every day. But which one is most suitable for you, and which one would you like to use, has to be decided. Content marketing, you're putting you have a website, you are pushing content on social media, and there's so much of content on the internet, but there's few pointers, few lines, few specific content that attracts a user and attracts him to your ad. So that is where content plays a big role. If you're into B2B space, you will be writing articles, you'll be writing white papers, you'll be doing case studies, and it's very important. And your competitors are doing the same. So content marketing skills are very important when it comes to digital marketing, because today's digital marketing is all about content. How much content you can throw into the industry, throw it for your audience, and what quality of content are you pushing? And you're pushing it through videos, or you're pushing it through text ads, or you're pushing through banner ads, whatever way you're pushing, or it's article, whatever it is. But what is the quality of content and how it is connecting with your audience? Email marketing, another channel. You can do newsletters. You can start having a newsletter of your own, keep your clients and your prospects informed about the products, see what they're clicking. Based on the clicks, you can track them, and then you can create a newsletter which is only talking about the articles or products that they are interested. So a lot can be done with email marketing as well, and we all get a lot of emails, but still, even today, even though say they are spamming, but still email marketing today remains one of the most important marketing mix of when it comes to digital marketing channels. Digital analytics, as I said, you have to have a very good analytics in place to understand the persona, traffic, where are your users coming from, which area are they coming from. So you have to have in place good analytics, and you have to understand analytics in a big way. What are you doing in the first top 5 channels is you're executing a lot of activities, a lot of content is pushed. But analytics gives you a clear understanding of which one is working and which one is not working, what is to be reviewed and what is to be stopped. Promotion platforms, so we'll talk about that when it comes to paid marketing. You can do Facebook ads, you can do Insta promotion, you can go on LinkedIn ads, depending upon you can do ads, but they are all paid promotion which will help you put your product in front of your right audience faster than normal search engine optimization, but they'll have its own strategy to do it, and they'll be expensive as well. So you should know how to do it. That's where the entire mathematics lies, how to optimize your inorganic marketing initiatives. Affiliate marketing, if you feel you have a great product and you have margins, you would like to offer people to bring in customers, a certain amount of commission, a certain amount of percentage for the sales, you can do affiliate marketing. You can pay them based on the traffic they bring in. You can pay them on the clicks they bring in. You can pay them based on actual sales they generate for you. So those are various ways of, and affiliate marketing itself is a big area to excel, expertise, and grow as a digital marketer. Video marketing, most happening tool today. It used to be text, it used to be images. Today, the world is all about video, because that leaves a long-lasting impact. And a very short few seconds, you can convey your ideas in a better way about your product and services. So video marketing is, again, a big area when it comes to digital marketing, and one has to adopt it today. You can't just leave it. If your products are there, you have to have your videos out on YouTube. You have to have video optimization strategy in place, other areas of video marketing and all that, and campaign optimization, which we already talked. I'll now bring in Gautam, and Gautam, let's have a discussion and let's walk. So, we talked about your conversion funnel when you're talking about digital marketing, client acquisition funnel, or the steps to get client acquisition, acquire clients. We talked about and gave you a little idea what are the channels of digital marketing, and now we're trying to give you an idea what are some of the skills or tools necessary when it comes to digital marketing, which will help you not only for your own digital marketing strategy, or if you're doing, or you're a marketer yourself, but it will also help you in growing your career as a digital marketer and help your organization have a better digital marketing strategy if you are a digital marketer with them. Keywords. What are the keywords? What are the important phrases that people would be looking for or typing when it comes to searching a product? You go to Amazon. How many of us go to Amazon's section, choose fashion, go to clothing, go to men, go to shoes, go to accessories, and go to shoes? No, we don't do that. What we do is open Amazon, in the search box, straight away type men's shoes, right? That's how most of us do. And that's the keyword you should be knowing, that what is the keyword that people will be typing to, or what are the keywords connected to my product or services which are important for me to understand and for which I want my product to be listed or visible to my audience. So you should have a keyword planner. You should have this. So this is Google Ads keyword planner, which gives you an idea based on whatever you have kind of jotted down. What is the traffic? You might be optimizing your entire digital marketing strategy for a keyword which may not have a huge search. People are not searching that keyword. It could be a keyword which is a slang of a common keyword in our normal parlance of talking, but the audience that you are catering to, do they use that particular keyword? If you're looking at US market or you're looking at UK market, the way you optimize for US market, some of the words, some of the phrases used in American markets are pretty different than what they are called in UK market. So there would be a lot of difference, and same even in national market in India as well. So you should understand what are the keywords which are going to give you higher traffic, higher search volume, and this tool helps you do that. Custom audience building is what we were talking about earlier. You should be very clear on what audience are you looking for your product. What age are they? What is the gender they have? What language you want to target to? If your product is for a particular is language centric, you might be selling so what is the reach of those people? This again we have shown you is an audience building tool when you try to create or track an audience on Google, right? When you want to understand who are the people visiting on your website, what are the traffic sources they're coming from, and what is the demography they are coming from, and what kind of people are visiting. You might be getting a lot of audience from a senior group of people when you know that my product is mainly aimed at 20 to 30 years of age of people. The seniors won't look at it. They will never buy. So then you have to optimize and probably disallow this kind of audience when it comes to who my ad should be shown to. Because for every click, for every activity, if you're into paid marketing, you're being charged. And if your ad is getting shown to an audience which is not your right audience, you will be wasting a lot of your marketing budget. Cross-channel journey for retargeting. So Google Analytics is another very important tool that one should, if you're getting into digital marketing, this is a platform one has to have an excellent grip to understand both its configuration and beyond more than configuration, how do you analyze your complete data? So this gives you a very clear understanding where is your audience coming from, what are the regions, what are the pages they have visited, when did they abandon your cart. You can create an entire funnel here. What are the goals you would like to achieve? You want them to download an ebook, you want them to download a video, You want them to buy something out. Did they buy? Did they abandon that cart? They added it to the cart, but they did not afterwards buy the product. They did not finish the buying journey. So is it necessary that now when you're emailing them, when you're tracking them, then you can offer them a small discount that, okay, or your team can reach out to them with an email that we saw you left the product is there, we can help you out. So that's what we are talking about retargeting, which is you have understood a little about your audience that came to your website, to your social media page, to your ads, but they did not finish what you wanted them to do. They did not take the action as desired by you. And retargeting is also important for upselling. So once you have a buyer who has bought something and you know now what his likes are, what his dislikes are, what he enjoys buying, what are the areas he visits in terms of the internet, the world of internet, you can still continue to upsell him similar products. And that's how most of these e-commerce companies do that. The moment you visit them, you start seeing their ads immediately on your Facebook or your mobile or your other electronic gadgets. So customer cross-channel journey is very important to be tracked. What are they doing on other platforms and holistically to understand develop their persona, as we talked about. And analytics is one tool that one should be aware. If you really want to see where your traffic and where your audience is, and where are you not getting your audience, and then you can optimize for your regions and everything. Couple of tools to give you an idea of understanding your competitive landscape. We talked about you should know your competitors. So these are a couple of tools. Alexa, SimilarWeb, these are free ones. SEMrush is a paid subscription-based tool. But what they do is they'll give you an idea of what your competition is doing, how much searches they have, where are they advertising, what is the kind of traffic they're getting, which regions they're getting traffic, what keywords are good for them, and that's good for them also for you to do a competitive analysis. And this is even good for you to understand your own landscape, where some of the things may not be tracked by analytics, Google Analytics. So if you're using some other third-party tools to do digital marketing, you can have these kind of tools to track your own performance as well. And lastly, marketing automation. You're talking about a huge, many activities. You're talking about a lot of activities. And if you think that everything can be done manually, then you'll need either a big team or you will be lost. The marketing campaigns may not be in sync. What is more important is an omni-channel style of marketing where everything is in sync. Your graphics are in sync with whether it's on mobile, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on social media, whether it's on website. So it's always good to have some automation tools available. Good to have an understanding of those tools, develop your skills on those tools. So MailChimp, SendGrid are for email automation. For example, you want to create a drip campaign. You can use these kind of tools based on a click of your earlier email or newsletter, an article. You can start sending customized emails, customized newsletter to your audience going forward. So you can create a complete set of, so you can plug in a chain of emails in that, and based on the behavior of your audience, the emails can be customized and they'll go on their own. You should have a good CRM in place to understand and collect as much data as you can of your client. A lot of CRMs are available who connect with the social media platforms, they connect with the email platforms, and they keep collecting the client information to give you a bigger picture of what your audience looks like. Hootsuite, BuzzSumo for social media. And if you're in an organization which has a huge number of products and a huge target database, and if more into B2C space, and you want to automate all your operations, probably HubSpot, Pardot, Oracle, Eloqua are some of the skills or other tools which one should have expertise on. And for students who are listening to it, I would absolutely recommend that if you want to get into digital marketing, you should get yourself certified in these tools. There are a lot of, they give certifications, and try to have some hands-on training wherever you possible on these tools, because these are the tools which are there in the market in big organizations. And if you have skills and hands-on experience on these kind of tools, it will give you a lot of advantage. Now I bring in Gautam to talk to you for next 5-10 minutes on the inorganic marketing that we talked about. We are talking about here paid initiatives that one can take when he wants to go all out to acquire clients and go all out some platforms like various social media platforms for getting acquisition of acquiring clients in inorganic way. Gautam, all yours.
Sir,
Yes.
before proceeding further, can we take few of the questions because I have so many questions and I think 2-3
Fine.
questions we can take in between.
Absolutely. That would
All
be
right. So one of the student posted a question. Every company is excited to get on choosing a new marketing agency. They are especially eager to start seeing results and getting a return on their investment as well. So
right.
it's a natural inclination, but of course, like how long it will take to see an increase in a client acquisition? That's a question, sir. Or
Okay.
what should be the main trust areas for keeping customers loyal to a particular brand?
So there are two things you're talking about, and
Yeah.
just let me know if I've understood the question correctly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First one was about the ROI, right? So
Yes, sir.
if you are an agency, a client is coming to you and they would immediately want to see results, right? That's the first thing. And second question, if you can elaborate again.
What should be the main trust areas for keeping customers loyal to a particular brand?
Okay, right. So the first one, I'll take it. See, if you're an agency and a client and a customer is coming in, you have to really very clearly tell him. As I said, those first pointers when we're talking about, you have to do this exercise of discovering his interest with him very openly and frankly tell him, make him understand what is he intending to do. This is the biggest problem when it comes to digital marketing because clients come, they'll give you an assignment and they immediately start expecting कि 15 दिन से मुझे lead आनी शुरू हो जानी चाहिए. I mean, so that's what they immediately would like to look at. But what you have to do is, and it is possible, I won't say, but you have to understand what market they are looking at. So in that scenario, the granular you are able to go to understand his expected, what kind of clients he's looking at, granular to understand his product, granular to understand the clientele that he's looking at, you will be able to give results. And then very openly upfront tell him that these are the kind of budgets you should be looking at. The gaps there where is, we say that we'll get you leads. The agency would say we'll get you leads immediately, right? But the young agency would always say that we'll get you leads, but that's not how it works, because as Gautam would be talking about, even these platforms take their own time to optimize your campaign. So it's always good. For example, when we do marketing, we clearly tell them when it comes to social media marketing, for example, you want to grow organic, tell them very clearly that it will take at least 3 to 4 months for you to see some of your keywords getting ranked. Don't give them false picture at all. Now, talking about the loyalty to a brand, I personally would leave it absolutely to the client, the customer delight that you're able to offer to me. Many of us are, and this is just for the purpose of the webinar, there are two major e-commerce players in the market today in India. And many of us would have an affinity to one, and many of us would have an affinity to the other one. They are platforms, right? Even on those platforms, we change our loyalty to those platforms because the way the seller on that platform has treated us, the way the product has come to us, way the customer support has treated us, that all leaves me, it is all adding to my loyalty index, and I'll be loyal to that particular platform, or I'll buy from a particular seller from that particular platform only based on my interaction and my satisfaction that I'm getting. So that customer delight is very important. I take a name. I'm very fond of Amex, right? Amex credit card, right? American Express. Right? I've used many credit cards in the past, including our Indian brands, ICICI and everything, including Standard Chartered. But some of you, if you get a chance, speak to an MX customer support executive. Trust me, he has that ability. He has been trained in the way that he has that ability, he can make your entire day wonderful. The way they connect with you and the way they handle your problem. The problems are, my card is not working, my card is lost, there's been a fraud transaction on my card. The moment you tell them there's a fraud transaction, the first thing he tells you, sir, no worries, now the problem is ours. You feel immediately relaxed, right? And they'll really do it. They'll just block it, and after that, they'll do every efforts to make sure you're not bothered. That's where, so your team that is working on those digital marketing platforms, I'll show you when a case when we go forward. You have a lot of, as I said, you have a lot of negative. There's no harm in accepting a negative comment. The problem that comes is we are always defensive in our strategy.
Yes.
That's where the person loses interest in a brand. So if you really want to have loyal customers, you should work towards customer delight in both ways. Be ready to, and you have to serve them, go all out for them. Make sure that, because they'll be doing the viral marketing for you. They'll be your much bigger marketing channel rather than all of these that we're talking about. So I leave it to your customer experience that you're able to create. That is not on the website, that is not on the purchase, that is post-purchase customer experience that you're able to create for a customer. That's what I would put it as.
Right, sir. The digital customer journey can often be a convoluted affair with research, interest, and consideration of taking place before committing to any purchase decisions. So yes, definitely. One more question, sir.
Yeah.
One of the students who recently started a venture is asking, what are the best ways to increase website traffic? What are the best ways? As far as I think he's more concerned with his own business. I would like
if he's in touch with you, can I ask?
Yeah. Just a minute. I'm just asking to him as well. Or if he is listening to me, he can post the best ways to increase the website traffic.
So Ashish, can you let me know what products are you trying to sell, or what exactly that venture is all about?
It's about FMCG products.
Okay. Now again,
more dealing in organic products.
Right. Pretty good. Thank you. So Ashish, whatever I'm saying is just based on this conversation. We can always have a bigger discussion on that. But yeah, so you're dealing into products which are organic. Now, as I said, you have to understand and decide for yourself where is the need of these kind of organic products. So certainly you are clear that you're not going to market them into smaller cities. When I say smaller cities, it means, so if I take names, so you have to decide which are the cities that will have those kind of people who are now trying to go organic. What are the people who are now fitness free? Okay, so people who have understood the value of organic. Organic products many times are a little expensive also, because you people have put a lot of efforts on growing them with organic way. So as I said, decide your audience that you want to target, which city they are coming out, where are those people, what is that age that you should be. I mean, if you're putting your organic product on Instagram, for example, fine, you can take a nice picture of that. But then Insta is more for the younger generation, right? Either you use Insta's paid campaign to reach out to a audience which is of age 30 to 45. So you have to decide what that product is all about and to whom are you catering to. Yeah, Facebook can give you a good reach on those kind of audience. Then you have to zero down which demographic you would like to market, right? So you can use various so get traffic, more traffic, put a campaign, run some videos around that. And these videos need not be always only talking about your product. these videos have to be informative video as well. That okay, so what you're creating is it could be organic tea, it could be anything. So organic clothing. Create videos to make people feel what the need of that. Many times we don't have a need of it. So or rather we don't have a knowledge around that. So create those kind of smaller videos which are helping people to understand the importance of organic food or whatever organic product you have. Throw them out on YouTube. Create your YouTube channel. Invite few people who are good in organic and take their interviews. So these are various ways you can do that. But the most important thing is understand who is going to be the buyer of that organic product and where are those buyers available. And then start a journey planning things accordingly. So social media certainly can give you a lot of weightage, and you can use Google's shopping platform also. Facebook has its own shopping platform that can be created. But even if you're doing that, you have to go down you have to test a lot to narrow down which age group, which kind of demographic region is giving you the right audience, and then you can ramp up on that. I hope I answered your question.
Definitely, sir. The digital marketing is like a jigsaw puzzle. You never know where it is navigated. So it's rightly said, sir. I hope the student have got his answers more nearer to how he can increase the website traffic. One more question, sir, before proceeding forward, the last one. One of the faculty is asking, what are the common mistakes that should be avoided in a customer acquisition strategy implementation?
Okay. A very important mistake which we normally do, we go all out everywhere. So because we have heard these names as Facebook, as LinkedIn, as Twitter, Snapchat, I mean, we've heard these names and we feel that because everybody is there, I have to be there. That's not how it should be. Because see, whatever we are doing, we are putting in our resource, we are putting in our money, we are putting in our time, and we are executing campaigns around that. So if you dive, so you have to, and this is the big mistake that people do. They are all over. They try to be all over, and then they are not able to manage. That is one big mistake that should be avoided. I again say, and based on experience, you have to create that niche for your product. Understand why my product is different than others, and how, even if it is probably same, fine. How do I create that niche? I'll show you an example that we're talking about as we go forward. We have taken an example of a textile company or a company that is a homegrown business into saris, and sari is common thing, but probably the way they try to create the USP of putting it across to their target audience was very different. So maybe I'll because the question has come, I will take that. We can come back to Gautam, you, and I'll go forward to that presentation directly, right? And then we can come back. Right. So answering your question, for example, this is one case study that we would like to put across to you. This is a company called Indian Ethnic Co., a 2-year-old business started by the mother and the daughter. None of them come from the background of textiles. The mother is the chief creative designer. She is from MS University, Baroda, and her daughter has done her MBA from Narsi Monji. And they've set up a website primarily catering to handmade clothing. Now, the beauty why I'm sharing this case to you is this is just a 2-year-old organization. They started with their traditional style of putting on Insta initially photographs, get nice, beautiful pictures of the saris and everything. But then after the analysis and whatever they might have done, they changed the way they were doing the marketing, and they started a journey where they are emotionally connecting with, I mean, a journey where every time, whatever they do, every post they do, every campaign they do, is some way or the other connecting the audience. Now for this organization, they're selling saris. So their target audience is certainly women. Okay. They did not try to get in the best of the names to model for them. All these women that you see, they are either from the family or the friends around them. So the lady who started it, she herself is I think a Bharatanatyam dancer, and then her friends are there. They did not try to make everything look good. And when I say everything look good means the model has to be very perfect. The background of the shoot has to be perfect. It has to be done at a very exotic location. No, they did not do that. And today they have almost 55,000 plus followers. Today, I mean, they have, look at the numbers that I have on that's 342,000 followers on Insta. And every video they post, I'll walk you through that one of the posts as well, is getting thousands and thousands of views. What they did was, sari is on one hand, you can say that sari is fine. Nobody buys it daily. But sari is again one of the most common product that a woman would buy or love to buy again and again. Now, it's not about whether it's a working woman, home bakers, homemakers, everybody. Saris are the most common thing that India wears, right? Then they started connecting that with the emotional connect of a woman. When do you wear a sari? When do you love to buy a sari? For the right occasions, when there's a party, when there's a festivity. For Indians and for the women of India, there are two festivals every month, and that's how they started connecting. I'm taking you to one of their videos that I would like to share with all of you. Let me see. And that I'll run it right straight from the net itself. To give you an idea, these are the kind of, so they changed the entire perspective and they started putting videos of their own self using one of the products which they would like to launch and putting these kind of videos onto the web. Now look at the style of marketing. They're connecting. This was their campaign for Makar Sankranti. 56,000 views, 759 comments, and 5,000 people have shared this video. And what they do is just simply create a video of the product they would like to promote or bring into the market new, fresh. And it has changed the entire way they have been selling their products till date. So coming back to the question that you were asking, I mean, the mistakes that we want to go all out and we want to be very traditional. Jo sab karna, we'll do that same. And we don't realize that my product may not be for everybody. My product cannot be marketed the way traditionally people market, and you have to understand what new innovative you can do. So I hope that answers. Hello.
So please.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can we move?
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. Right. So I'll now bring in Gautam to talk to you people a little on paid campaigns. When you do it on Facebook, what are the importance or what are the pointers that you should keep in mind? Yeah, Gautam.
So thank you so much, Nidhi and Parul University, Vamu sir, for inviting me on this webinar. And as some people have joined recently, so let me explain about myself a little. So my name is Gautam. I'm a digital marketer. I have more skills on paid marketing, where I help people to drive traffic, to get more conversions, leads, and lot many other things which every business requires. So what I would like to share is, we need to understand, like whenever we are doing any kind of paid marketing, we need to have certain things as a clarity, like why you need paid marketing. Like there could be a various objective. Some people want just a traffic, some people want lead, some people want a sale, like purchase something, and some people want just a visibility or branding point of view. So, I mean, if you know your objective very well, then you will be able to define a goal, and accordingly you can start your marketing activity as a using the paid marketing tools, maybe Google ads, maybe Facebook ad, maybe LinkedIn ad. So there are various types of ads that we all know that a lot of people are running, and we also run. So that is number one. Number two is that what to expect from a paid marketing. So like, for an example, let's say you want to sell something online, then obviously you cannot expect just to sell. So you need to understand you have a certain products and you are trying to reach out a certain type of audiences. What we call it like a targeted audience, right? So when there is a targeted audience, what we do is that we understand where the audience actually hang around. Like for an example, let's say I want to sell a t-shirt. So I will be looking at like people, those who want to buy a t-shirt, maybe youngster, maybe age group, maybe 25, maybe 18 to 25, maybe 35. So I need to test basically, and then I need to see, I mean, whether the audience is getting engaged with my advertising or not. So there are certain expectations we need to plan. Like, okay, if my ads gets clicked, which means, okay, this is something that I will expect as okay, how many times my ad is getting clicked, and what is the CPC, what is the cost per click, what is the number of what do you call impressions. So these are the expectations when we run an ad we need to set. And then once we run an ad, we need to actually give enough time, like to understand like whether the ad is getting optimized or not. So because every platform has a different time and different method to optimize. Like some advertising platform requires like 3 to 4 days time to get advertised optimized with the platform. Like if it is Google ad, if there is a Facebook ad, if there is a YouTube ad, it takes time. And once you have that enough time, and then you have a data that where the data will be we can gather from the analytics, or we can gather the data from the pixel. So these are little technical things, but if you are aware of these tools like analytics and pixel, you will be able to understand what this technical all about and how you can expect your goals to be completed within the paid marketing activity. Now, as I said, like there are a lot of marketing platform. What we need to do is that we need to understand when we are running up any paid marketing, like it depends on the product, it depends on the industry. Like some of the advertisings are good on LinkedIn, some of the advertisings are good on Google or maybe YouTube. So you need to define, like sir has said, like you cannot rely on one thing or everywhere. So you need to test multiple things, and then you need to observe, and then you need to plan, okay, my ads or my products can be sold on maybe Google ads. So then you will be able to actually start Google ad more aggressively. So this is how you have to track and you have to react basically. And these tracking can be at a different level. I mean, if you don't know the digital marketing in an advanced way, you will not be able to understand what the traffic and what the conversion and what the tracking is. So for an example, let me give you a small example. Like for an example, let's say you are a web design company, and your goal is to get clients from let's say US, and now you started marketing your services using the paid marketing, let's say Google ads. So what you do is when Google ad is there, you are running Google ads showing your marketing campaigns. So it depends, like people may come to your website and they don't even enroll for any kind of downloading the ebook, or maybe they don't actually fill up the form, or like putting the inquiry details and all of that, and they leave without doing any action, call of action, clicking on any call of action. So you will be able to see in your Google Analytics that like how many people have visited your homepage, and the lead page and the conversion page. And based on that, you can actually create custom audiences, like, how many people have visited your lead page, or how many people have completed the lead page and visited the thank you page, which comes after the filling the form, right? So based on that, you can create a custom audience, and those who have not filled the form, you can customize those audience, and you can run the retargeting ad. And that's how you will be chasing them silently and very, very effective communication, using the effective communication. For an example, you might have seen some ads like, this is like, we noticed that you have visited our page, but you didn't end up buying something. So these kind of, when you say these kind of customized ad, I mean, they know that what you have done and what you have left. So this is how you have aggressive marketing works, and you can actually expect good number of ad spend, return on ad spend basically. I would like to show you a few more examples here. Sir, can you? Yes. So these are the Facebook ads. Some of the ads I just trying to show you, like like a lot of people ask me like what kind of ad really works, and what kind of product we really need to sell online, and how we can generate sales and all of that. So my answer is like, we all have we know like nowadays the attention span is very, very less. I mean, when we just scroll our phone and we get to know some ads, I mean, we were not supposed to buy any product on Facebook. It happened to see just we come across about some product, and we sometime buy, we sometime don't buy. So the point that I'm trying to mention here is that the attention span is very less. If your advertising is so smart, if you are very creative in terms of presenting your product and writing your offer, then the people will actually engage with your ads, because the attention span is very less. If you are not able to hold your customer on the ad, then obviously you will not be able to engage them, and they will not buy any product. So if you are smart enough, if you are creative enough, then you will be able to actually engage them, and you will be able to at least click. At least people will click and visit the product. And once they click, I mean, they will be part of your remarketing campaign, or your actually pixel will track them. Okay, this person has shown some interest, even though the person has not purchased, but some interest is there. That's why he has clicked. So then you can offer them running retargeting ad, like this product has now 30% off. Here is a coupon code you can use, and you can buy the same product at a lower cost. So people will actually end up buying more and more, and that's where you will make more profit. So these are some of the ads. You can see the number of likes and number of comments and the shares and views. The first product, which shows that smartwatch, Apple smartwatch, which the price is very less price. I don't think anybody will get in this price, $397. But they are able to actually create this and make people click basically. And when they see this, then they say that like, this was just a contest, but the contest is over. I mean, there is another contest is coming. If you're interested, you can fill up your enter your name, mobile number, email ID. We may notify you if the next contest is coming up, something like that. So what happens is that the person is there and they have got the lead. So that's how they are able to crack the engagement. They are able to attract more and more people, and they are able to make more ad spend, return on ad spend basically. So here I would like to show one more thing here. Can you go, sir? Next. So these are I have this screen. If you have seen these kind of screenshots in Google, if you have run any kind of Facebook ads, you will see these kind of ad manager and campaign manager, where you will be able to see like ads and the performance, like reach, impressions, and clicks, cost per results, and amount have been spent. So these are the columns that I'm just trying to show you in the first big screenshot. So it is one of my actually case study store where I was selling something, and you can see that 198,000 rupees I've spent. And here is the store at the same the right hand side. You can see the store which is showing you the total sales, which is 29,83,000 something. So which is, you can understand like how much money I have spent and what is the ROI. So this is the power of paid advertising. Somebody was asking like, how can I increase my traffic? So my answer is, I love paid traffic, because when you run a paid traffic and paid ads, so your traffic is under control. I mean, you are not relying on the search engine or any organic method. So I love paid advertising because I can control traffic. I can control my results. I can control. I mean, I can literally dominate basically. So if we go next. So this is over. So similarly, sir has explained that this store is sharing the organic growth. I mean, they have run some kind of organic campaign, running creative way of engaging the people, creating videos and holding the attention of the people. That's how they are organically getting more and more actually traffic on their store. Because if you see the number of followers and if you see number of likes and the views on the every video which they have, it is amazing. I mean, if you are creative like this, then you don't need even the paid traffic. So it is paid traffic is alternate substitute. If you are not creative enough, if you are not know how to market, but if you have right product, if you know the audience, and if you are little creative, you can beat even the paid traffic. So this is all from my side, guys. And if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Yeah, thank you, Gautam. So as we move towards the end of the webinar, I'll walk you through 2 more case studies or other innovative videos that we would like to leave you with, and then we can take questions if you have any.
The Netherlands is one of the best countries in the world to live in. It has a strong economy, and some of the world's best DJs were born here. There's only one downside. It rains 145 days a year.
At Google, we solved this problem by repurposing Holland's old windows, using them not to capture wind, but to generate it. To pull this off, we needed to build a better understanding of the weather. We used Google Cloud Platform to predict how clouds will behave. We then connected all 1,170 windmills in Holland to prevent bad weather from happening.
Let's take it for a spin.
Machine learning enables all the mills to collaborate.
Of course, we need some rain now and then. With Google Wind, we can also decide when and where it rains. So Google Wind is able to keep clear skies any season.
Mensen, zon en nog eens zon, net als de rest van het jaar.
I'm proud to announce that from April 1st, we're able to guarantee clear skies for everyone.
How many of you have seen this campaign or seen this video? By any chance, anyone who is here in the webinar? Okay. Now, this is the video which was created by Google, and this has 4.4 million views. And this was, if I tell you, certainly it's Google, you can say that, sir, they can create the best of the videos and all that possible. But look at look, what I'm trying to tell is, even Google would like to celebrate stuff, would like to be innovative, and at times celebrate days. This was a campaign for 1st April Fool's Day of Google. And Google Netherlands has that credibility now, because now people know on every 1st of April, a day before, they'll release a video which would be absolutely highly out of the world kind of a campaign, only to celebrate the April Fool's Day. Let me walk you through one more video. So this is a company called iXico from Gurgaon, and this video of theirs has already received 3.3 million views. So when I was talking to somebody, answering your question on organic food of one of the student, you have to understand, now this is an informative video they have created. We can call it a evergreen video, which is kind of giving an information touching upon a topic which is of problem to most of us. We want to travel light. At the end, they talk about themselves. Problem is, many a times we only talk about ourselves. We only talk about our service. We only intend to put all our campaigns in a way that we want somebody to buy. Many times that won't happen. You have to put across the need of the product, the use of the product, why it's different, how it is valuable to you. And then obviously, if you're able to create that kind of interest in an audience, they will buy. I have a friend of mine who keeps sending me on WhatsApp every time about a new honey product they have launched. Now, what I'm telling him now, if you have been sending me, you have to, as I said, you have to track. If you have made a WhatsApp group, if you have made an email group, after sending it to me for 8 weeks, if I'm not responding to you or not even saying a thanks to you, you have to start removing me. Or probably just sending me a jar of that honey bottle won't help me. Maybe send me a video which says why honey is important, why honey is now a regular food ingredient, not something which I would like to have or give it to my kids. So you have to think that way. And I would also like to say that many times we feel that apart from what Gautam talked about, paid marketing, which is certainly an expensive affair, which takes your investments if you're not handling it properly. Apart from that, making videos and all those things are not at all a difficult thing. If I tell you that this iXico video costed the company only 7,000 rupees. Because what you saw in the video, there's no model, there's no need of, what they've done is just an in-house stuff, properly shot using a camera. Now you people have mobile phones which are as good as a standard DSLR camera, and they shot that. So you have to just think how to put across my product differently and what are the right channel to get it viral. Is my audience on Facebook? Is it my audience on Insta? And how I can have a huge proper content around that so that it gets viral. People remember it for a long time. So yeah, that's all from our side. And thank you once again, all of you, for giving us this opportunity. Any questions, we would be happy to handle.
Yes, sir. There are a lot of questions, not few, but as we are short of time, I'm just taking 2-3 questions at the end. One of the students is asking which skill sets of the digital marketing specialist are most necessary for developing a customer acquisition strategy.
Okay, so as I said, as we saw those channels, when you say, if I talk about one skill set, again, I'll say your ability to understand your product and customer. That is one most important skill set that has to be there. And then how to use that set of information on various channels. And your second skill is which channel is right for you. You have to study. So if you want to, so if you're looking yourself as a marketer, you want to be into digital marketing, just don't start from anywhere. People start from SEO. We daily get resumes of students who have done SEO. They'll say we have done SEM, we have done this skill, we have done analytics. No, you cannot. And then we very frankly, we don't look at those things, because if I'm looking for a content marketer, I'm looking for somebody who can create stories. So skills is your eye to understand a product, see how you can create a differentiative approach from others available in the market. When Gautam was showing that ad, I mean, you must have realized that the watch that Gautam has shown, that's a fake watch. And there are many fake players in the market. But that guy, just because using of an Apple Watch logo, was able to garner a lot of eyeballs for that particular ad and would have done business and go up. So what is that differentiation that you can create for yourself? What are your, where is your audience available? What is the third is what is the channel you would like to utilize? Just don't do everything. So that's where the problem lies. And then which channel, if you want to be a marketer into that area, if that's the question, then pick up one of them and then talk to yourself, which is your core strength area, which you would like to pursue. There is a career opportunity in all of them. You can be an SEO, but if you want to be an SEO and a content writer together, you cannot be. Because the content is not about SEO keyword stuffed content together today. You should be able to write case studies. You should be able to write articles all around that. So the key skills, I would say, is understanding the platform you would like to use, and prior to that, understanding the audience you would like to cater to.
Right, sir. Fine. There are a lot of questions. So what I'll do, sir, I'll compile all the questions together and I'm going to mail you. And further, we can discuss it with the students in the classroom regarding a small concepts of ranked watch, like what is how we're gonna do it, or maybe digital point, keyword tracker, what are the things, how do we use these things? So definitely, I'll be compiling all the questions and we'll be mailing it across to you.
Do that. We would be very happy to answer them. And students can reach out to us directly. Please don't worry. We feel free to connect to us, because this is a domain. I mean, because after 20 years of experience, what we have seen is many a time we want to get into digital marketing, but the biggest challenge or the mistake that we do, that we get into an institute, we start learning everything, and then we say that we have become a digital marketer. What I would suggest, you get a taste of everything, but find your niche, what you want to be into, and pursue your career in that direction. There's a need of every channel expert. There's a huge need of people who are expert on a particular analytics platform. There's a huge need of people who are good in on-page optimization of a website. There are a huge need of people who can optimize paid campaigns, and you cannot be master on all of them. So that's my own.
Very true. And, personally, I'm also inclined by looking at such an amazing examples that you have shown. And that is really brilliant, some of the tactics that through these digital marketing.
Yeah, we should look at it. Before I end, I'll give you one example. I come from digital marketing background, doesn't mean I cannot be fooled. IXO create, and all of you should go to the IXO's YouTube channel and look out for a campaign done in 2017. What it did was, and that was a campaign to get registrations. What it did was, like Google, they created a 2-minute video saying that we have launched an AI-enabled glasses, which you wear, and when you click a button, it will start looking at whatever you're looking at. It start giving you information about that particular product based on the AI capability. So if you're looking at Qutub Minar, it will give you an information that what is the height of the Qutub Minar and everything. And they said for the first few people, we are giving this for free. And trust me, they got huge number of registrations.
Yes.
They got huge number of registrations. And on 1st of April, they emailed all of us who registered that I hope your Are you waiting for them to arrive to you? Thank you for registering with us. Happy April Fool's Day. Look at that.
That's really great.
That was the time they started the company, and a great way to kind of, I'm sure they must have collected thousands and thousands of registered users, their email addresses and their phone numbers, which they can now later on continue to target and reach out to for their products.
Right. Rightly said, sir.